In today's video, we're going to go behind the scenes of our journey to Macclesfield Forest, provide commentary and some information that wasn't in the original video. This is a very diverse route. You can go from the Teggs Nose Country Park, the summit, the reservoirs, and now we journey to the forest. Let's go have a look. Now, I always like to start by discussing the intro. Now, not many YouTube videos even have an intro anymore, but for 3 to 4 seconds, I like to entice people with a lovely scene. For example, in Macclesfield Forest, I take you on a pan shot through the woods, the light shines through the trees and flares up the lens, and then you're into the information, teasing people about our coming up journey. It's something worthwhile, but let me know in the comments if you actually like these intros, or would you just like to get straight in there? And there's that intro. It's absolutely beautiful, and there's the flare, and I like it. And then boom, there's a little snapshot, very quick. You show you the lake, the river, the trees, the landscape, and that massive forest. Also these little statues to entice people with what, oh, where do these come from, where they are. And then there's that lake showing you it on. And then you're straight into the map with information. Snappy, and for this time I want to go right through the journey and show people quite, close, so you can see all the information and go through it. Quick, snappy, and we're in.
Today we're parking up at Teggs Nose
Hopefully people like that.
but not to visit the reservoirs or scale the summit.
So what I did here was I wanted to show people, now this is quite similar footage to our Teggs Nose journey, so I sped this up and I wanted to, take people on a journey, but then realize we're not actually going around the reservoirs, the summit in Teggs Nose. I want to shoot them very quickly. I sped up the footage so quick because I wanted to get to this shot of the sign. And this is very important. It could be a little shoddy with this little digital zoom. And I just want to say, no, we're not going to the reservoir. Today, I'm taking you to the forest. So as previously mentioned in other videos, there was an issue with my microphone on a few of my journeys, but this led to some interesting audio editing. As you might notice, quite a lot of the audio levels are quite low down. This is simply to get, interference and ambient noise to a decent level so you can actually hear everything. The start of the journey is, it's quite uphill for what I expected. You're going towards a forest, but I think the way we started the journey at Teggs Nose Country Park, it's a giant hill, so you're already going quite down and then back up, so it can be quite difficult. Now, this shot has again been sped up because the gate and the noises around, so I basically silenced the shot and then moved the scene quite dramatically to get rid of all those ambient noises. But as always, I like to give people a bit of direction. Where am I going? What are we doing? Fair enough, you can have a map, but I like the footage and the journey to show you our direction and movement. But then I want to push people forward because there's so much to explore in this forest. And then after that little shot, I just tease people about, the first little bit of ruins that we explore. Now, I've paused it here because I do have a bit of a confession to make. When I first came to Macclesfield Forest, I was well aware of the church, but I didn't expect it to be this, short into the journey. So I started describing it, even mocked myself, saying, this is the world's smallest church. Go around the corner and lo and behold, an information sign about this being a person's house. So I ended up cutting a lot of the scenes and then transitioning them back into the forest just to move the scene along. But when you're going to a new destination for the first time, you're going to get scenes that, may not gel together or you provide misinformation. Just make sure when you hit the editing room floor, you make it make sense. All right, let's get back into it. Now, I've paused it here because behind the scenes information, there was almost over an hour's footage of me just peering into the trees looking for ideal shots with the sun peering through. Now, you have to cut that down, kill your darlings as it were, and make some coherent scenes. But just if you do go to Macclesfield Forest and you peer into it, there's some amazing moments where you can just sit there on a bench or just stand and look around in absolute wonder at the grandeur of all these trees around you. And if it's on a really sunny, non-cloudy day, the sun's going to pierce through and make some amazing views. Hopefully that came across in the footage. Let's get back to it. See, I love that shot, and I do want to get some footage of the forest and this scale of it and the transition through there. It goes on for quite some time, and then here there's a bench, and I just sat there for about 20 minutes trying to take it all in, going through the footage, just looking all around me. As you pan here, there's the bench. Absolutely beautiful. Just take advantage of those benches because there are so many views to see here. See, now you transition through here and towards the church. This is the actual church, not me being an absolute idiot thinking a house was a church. I wanted to change up the music here as you transition. Like I said, you are coming out of the forest, briefly going into this village, by a few farms, and I wanted, to change the tone as we do transition around into the other side of the forest. Hopefully, that's something you can achieve via music, is to, change how it feels. Now I've paused it here because I did a bit of experimentation here. I wanted to do this entire shot in one take. I didn't want to transition to it and cut in between. So from here, Christy goes through the gate with Valo, down the path, and then I also get the Macclesfield Forest sign all in one shot. Now, I will say this, just a bit of behind the scenes information for you. This footage is a combination from two different trips to Macclesfield Forest. One of them was actually in summer and the other one was in autumn. So you might actually be able to tell the difference in the surroundings, quite easily. But again, experimenting and at least trying, although I don't think the shot turned out very well at all, I'm kind of glad I tried it because from this, I thought to myself, how could I shoot this next time? Could I take different takes from different angles and join them together with a transition towards this, the sign? In the end, you've got to take chances with your footage. And when you play it back, it could be like, oh, I could do better. Maybe you go back again and you do try a different transition, you take different angles, and it becomes something better. But at the end of the day, just try. From now on, I know exactly how I would have handled this shot in the future. So yeah, I swing around. I show Christy going through the gate. I position myself to take footage of Christy going down the path. And I slowly pan to the Macclesfield Forest sign. Now this could have been done in multiple takes from different angles and turned out better, but experimenting with that allowed me to, improve myself for the future. Now I do use a lot of B-roll footage of signs because it allows us to transition to different directions while keeping people engaged, but also letting people know who recreate the journey that we're transitioning to another location and moving that part of the story along. So I transition here with, a lot slower feel in terms of music, just because, again, we're moving through the forest again, and I want people to be aware that we're moving the story along. Use that transition in music to do so. That was a really rough cut, but it wasn't too bad, as you transition and show the sign, and then Christy going past it. And then we transition here towards the information sign. The reservoirs were absolutely beautiful, and fair enough, some of these you can explore in the other route we did for Teggs Nose, but on this reservoir you have these lovely statues that we obviously tried to take photos of. Fallow was having none of it. He obviously just wanted to go around smelling everything. But it's something to journey with, and it's very family friendly as well. If you want to take your kids here to have a play and observe the little statues there. Now, I will say this, it's very difficult around here to take footage because it's so popular and it's along the road. So we obviously want to keep Valo safe, and I transition through here with a nice time-lapse shot, moving us along our journey. Oh, it would not be, footage if it wasn't for animal sounds everywhere. Again, we have another transition here of music, and it's a bit more somber because this is coming to the end of the journey, but it also is a transition back towards Tegg Nose. That is also a route that we've done previously. So it's the combination and almost like the returning, the coming home, coming back, and that almost relaxing feel as the familiar sights as you end your journey. And I want that somber tone to, transition people onto the end of the video. Put If on a summer's day, yeah, maybe. Definitely with your dog's paws, they'll appreciate that and cooling down and having a bit of a drink.
Here are some outtakes, bloopers, and funny moments from our journey. Don't take
I
them
had to
too
mute this
serious.
outtake because obviously it's the sound of the gate was horrendous. Yes, I seem to attract sheep noises and farm wildlife everywhere you go. It's the countryside, you're gonna. And there you go, there's the sheep noises.
This video brought to you by footsteps and sheep noises.
I was gonna say, sheep noises, gravel paths, etc.
Get an excited dog real giddy to come to you. Hello, what's this? Come here. Come here.
And completely failing at it.
Oh, I never.
He was having none of it.
No, bench, come back.
Finds enemy number 742. Bramble and shorts. Ow. Ow.
So before that, I
Yeah, we
actually,
don't have enough shots of you being Val.
tore my legs apart on the brambles, and I just thought, because I couldn't keep all that footage because the camera was all over the place, that was the only usable footage where I was actually getting hurt.
She tapped it.
Valo, you like your hat?
And there's Christy lying down with Valo and wearing Christy's hat, because that's funny. And there's your outro. So that was a brief look at behind the scenes to our adventures of Macclesfield Forest. Now, I have no problem being honest. At the end of the day, when you do shoot footage on location, mistakes are going to happen. Now, I'm never going to be able to show a perfect journey to these destinations, and I wouldn't want to. At the end of the day, I want to be real, authentic, and I'm amateur. And mistakes are going to happen. And the reason why I like these types of videos, probably more than any others I do, is because I get to look back, see the mistakes I've made, and what I learned from them. And that's so much part of the journey, it's unbelievable. Now, hopefully you can be entertained by all the mistakes I've made, be enjoyed by the video, and I hope to see you in our next journey. We really appreciate you staying till the end. Consider liking this video and checking out our other content. If you want to see future content, consider subscribing and checking out Valo's Instagram. Details are in the description. Want to get more journey insights? Try this video. All the best on your journey, and until the next video, goodbye now.